Hello, and thanks for watching. Welcome to part 8 of Road to Omega, a series of videos covering the WipEout games, leading up to the release of WipEout Omega Collection on the PlayStation 4. In this video we're looking at WipEout Pulse. Originally released on the PSP in 2007, here's the physical version of the game, and there's the box. Very reminiscent of WipEout 2097 with the ships coming straight at you, and the lines, bit more neon looking. But same sort of design, really cool, one of the best box arts I actually think. And they've got some cool art on the inside as well, like WipEout Pure did. And here's the Universal Media Disc. And interestingly, here's the manual, and on the back it's got a ad for WipEout HD. Because when this came out, it was already known they were in the middle of making WipEout HD, which is essentially HD content from WipEout Pulse and WipEout Pure. So that's nice, that's there. And in the PAL territories, the game was also released on the PlayStation 2. But we will look at this in another video because there's quite a lot to go over. And there's a few differences between the versions. So in this one, we'll look at the PSP. And just like WipEout Pure, I'll be recording the footage from the PS Vita using the digital version of this game. So yeah, let's cut over to the gameplay and we'll talk about the game. Okay, so here's the opening to WipEout Pulse. So yeah, it's released in 2007, follow-up to WipEout Pure, and they've basically just perfected what they started there with that game. Very similar, much more easily accessible. They've introduced the race box, which I'll show you in a minute, which is how you set up your own custom games and stuff. And there we go. So here we are in the main menu. You've got race campaign at the top, we'll look at that in a second. Race box, which I've got going here, you can see this is how you set up a custom event, and you can pick any of the events from the game, including tournaments, and set them up, any speed class, weapons on or off, the AI difficulty, all that stuff. It's a great addition to the game, and they stick with that going forward. Multiplayer uses the Wi-Fi. I don't think servers work for that anymore. This website, I think this is also defunct now, but you used to be able to download custom ship skins. So I had some of the WipEout 1 ship skins. I had a Phizar with the WipEout 1 art on it, and that was nice. I'd love that to return in any future game. Profile, basic profile management, and statistics, stuff like that, similar to WipEout Pure. Basic options, set your controls, music playlist, you can turn on and off music tracks, and extras like the credits and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go into race campaign and we'll have a look at this. So it's set out in a grid format of these honeycombs, very similar to WipEout HD if you've ever played that. And normally these are blank, and as you get medals they fill in, bronze, silver, gold. I've golded these, and if you look we've got quite a lot because each of these contains more events like this. And we've got a bunch of grids, and then we've got a phantom grid which is the fastest speed class, and then these are the DLC grids here. Mirage, Icarus, Oricon, Haramel, named after ships in the game. But yeah, we'll go back to the top here and we'll just start at the beginning. I'm not going to show you everything in the game as there's a lot of content, so we'll just skip through and look at a few bits and bobs. But here you go, if you look at the inside the grid, you've got all these different events. It tells you what kind of event it is, what speed class it is, what's the requirement for a gold. And at the bottom you can also set a difficulty. AI difficulty, easy, medium, hard. We'll stick it on easy just to show you, and we'll go for a single race on Moa Firma. So here are the ships, and here's Phizar. I tend to stick with this ship. As you can see, I've maxed out the loyalty points there. As you complete events you get loyalty, and the more loyalty you get, the more unlocks you get. So we've got the classic skin there, and there's the alternative, and then we get the eliminator skin and the concept skin. Oh, and also we can unlock the zone ship. And once you hit max loyalty points, that actually unlocks them for everything. So here's the AG systems, and I've also unlocked all the skins for that. And yeah, let's have a quick look at the ships. EGX, that's a combination of two ships from WipEout Fusion, EGR and Zeos, or Zios, however you say that. Goteki 45, Triakis, which I think is new in this one, Piranha, and here's the DLC ships: Mirage, Icarus, Oricon, and Harimel. And then these are back to the base game ships: Assegai and Kyrex. So let's go with AG Systems. See, on the load screen it gives you a few basic things about the game. If you've never played WipEout before, it helps you out a bit. And there it's telling us about a missile. So here we go, you get these track intros now. You can skip them at any point if you want to. And you get a robotic future voice telling you about the track. But yeah, if you want to, you can just skip it like this. So nice 3, 2, 1 countdown there. And you can get the boost obviously if you hit the accelerator at the right time. And you saw there a little red weapon icon flash up, and there it is again. That's basically warning you of weapons that are ahead on the track that the enemy are using. So yeah, same as usual. We've got the speed pads, which are yellow in this game, the weapon pads, which are flashing multicoloured, offensive, defensive weapons, standard WipEout stuff. Plays really well. Graphically, a little bit of a step up from Pure. They've got a much more neon look to everything in this game. It seems to be the theme for this WipEout. It's very clean looking again, but it's a bit more neon-y. And yeah, as you can see, this is a track which introduces the mag strip, where you can fly your ship on the side of tracks and upside down and all sorts. And that's the electronic purple looking thing on the bottom there. So yeah, same as WipEout Pure with weapons. You can fire them off or absorb them to replenish your overall ship health. And you can actually customize the HUD in this game a little bit. You can have a fisheye looking HUD, and you can have HUD effects where you get hit and it'll shake about a bit. It's quite cool, giving you the options. I like a standard HUD myself, don't like it banging all over the place. Yeah, that's a quick look at that track. We'll skip out now and look at something else. So here we go, we're in a quick time trial on Metropia, and we're in the EGX ship. It's one of the new ships, so I just thought I'd show you. And yeah, something else that's quite cool, if I pause the game, we have photo mode. So it's the first game where we've got photo mode. And you can pan the camera around, set the camera where it is, front of the ship, above, stuff like that. And yeah, it's quite cool, take pictures and stuff. Time trial isn't the most exciting thing to get a picture of, but I just wanted to show you that so you get an idea of how it works. But yeah, let's get back to it. So yeah, it's got all the basic stuff from previous WipEouts, and it's just basically a good solid package of all the stuff. Looks good, plays well. I'll talk briefly about the DLC because it was 4 packs and they were quite overpriced. They were very expensive for what was in them, and they never released them in the States, which was very unfortunate. I remember at the time the community, a lot of the fans were very disappointed by that. They were anticipating the release and they never got them. And they did something a bit crafty with the DLC. They split the content, so if you wanted all of the tracks, because basically the tracks in this game you have forward and reverse versions. You'd get a forward version of one of the tracks in one pack, but the reverse version would be in one of the other packs. So to get all of the content you would have to get all of the packs. which was awful really. It's an awful way to treat DLC, and overpricing it as well. I don't know if that's because they assumed they wouldn't sell much, so they wanted to make their money's worth, but coming from Pure, where they did the DLC so well, it was really mishandled in my opinion. And going forward, they seem to have learned their lesson though, because the WipEout HD Fury pack was priced very well for the content, and very well received as well. So I think they did learn from this. It's just an unfortunate blip on the WipEout story. There we go, that's that one. Let's cut to something else. So here we go, we're on another track and we're doing zone mode. Now zone mode is quite cool in this game. It looks like a virtual environment, like a Tron style environment. Plays really well, and they've done something clever with the game design here. They've put you in zone mode on the same tracks that you race on. So you're constantly learning these tracks, whatever mode you're playing in, and that's just really clever. It's a really good way of getting people to know the game, getting people used to the tracks. And yeah, zone mode, same as before with the previous titles. You are no control over the accelerator. You're just going, getting faster and faster. Try not to bang into the sides too much, and get a high score. And the way progression works in this game, obviously, if you get a medal, you unlock the next event. You don't need gold, you just need a bronze to unlock the next event. But yeah, everyone wants to get gold really, don't they? So yeah, you can see at the top of the screen there, speed class. Same speed classes as in the previous game. Vector, Venom, Flash, Rapier and Phantom. And I believe Zone actually has speed classes above Phantom. I can't remember the names of them, but the 5 I previously mentioned are the basic speed classes for racing events. And yeah, that's a quick look at Zone. You get the point really with that. It just gets faster and faster and faster. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, here we go. We're in the Triakis ship, and we're on another track. And this is a speed lap event, where you basically have to beat the time in the top right. Got 7 laps to do it. Once you do beat it, you can quit out of the session and you've got your medal. And here we go, I'll just do this. You can do barrel rolls just like in WipEout Pure. You land it and you get a little boost. So the soundtrack in the game is pretty good. You've got quite a few tracks in there. And yeah, if you pause the game, at the bottom there you can see you can skip through the tracks using the D-pad. So that's quite cool. And on the PSP you can have a custom soundtrack by putting the tracks in a folder labelled WipEout on your memory card. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, there we go, that's a quick look at that. So here we are, we're in one of the DLC ships now. This is the Oricon. And yeah, it's just, like I said before, it is a shame about the DLC, the way it was handled, but in the PAL territories the game was released on the PS2, and it was a port of the game, and it had all the content in there. It isn't a great port, but it is there if you want to check it out. And it's just another way to play the game, I suppose. It does feel different though. I'll cover that in another video and we can have a look at that stuff. And this game does have a few glitches, so if you look at the best time there and the position in the top right, you can see it's missing. So that does happen from time to time. So the game has that glitch going on. Not sure what that is, but yep. And yeah, so I mentioned that also the tracks you have forward and reverse, but in this game they're called white and black run. So there is a lot of content, even on the base game, even if you don't have the DLC and you don't really want to get it, or you can't get it, there is a lot of content in WipEout Pulse. There we go, that's a lap of that track. So here we go, we're in the Kyrex for this one. I'll just cut between the views. So you've got the interior view, which warps the hood a little bit so it looks like you're actually in there. And you've got two exterior views. And yeah, you can use the D-pad or the analog stick to control the ship, which is quite nice. And yeah, it's a nice looking game. Slick menus. It's just what you expect from WipEout, really. Solid release. What we'll do is we'll cut over and we'll look at some of the DLC stuff, because a lot of people might not have seen that. So here we go, this is Edgewinter, and there are 4 environments in the DLC, and then there's a black and white run of each, so you've got 8 tracks technically. I'm going to show you all 4 of the environments. We'll just do 1 lap of each so you can see. But yeah, they all look good. They're all fine. Like I say, it's just a shame not everyone got to play them. Okay, so this is Gemini Dam. And yeah, so I mentioned before WipEout HD was being developed at the same time as this, and that has content from WipEout Pure and WipEout Pulse in it, a few tracks from each. And yeah, it's quite a cool time for WipEout, knowing there's a lot of stuff on the way. And we'll be looking at WipEout HD soon. This is quite a technical track, quite difficult, and the higher speed classes with all the 90-degree turns. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so this is Orcas. Quite a dark track in some caves. Quite a good one, this. I like this track. And yeah, so I've got this playing on the Vita, so you can get all the DLC and that on the Vita. And it's cool to have it all on there. Like, the Vita has a nice screen, so it all looks pretty good on it. So here we go, this is the last environment, Vostok Reef, from the DLC. And yeah, I think we'll finish up the video here on this track. And that's been a look at WipEout Pulse. And yeah, I've mentioned a few times about the DLC, it's a bit of an issue, but even without that, it's a game full of content. It's one of the best looking games on the PSP, and I totally recommend getting it. It's one of the good ones. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. We're going to look at the PS2 version of WipEout Pulse at some point and do a bit of a comparison on the features and stuff. And we'll get to WipEout HD as well, which has some of the remastered versions of tracks from this game.